Okay, we are live, and if Jay and Andy, will you keep?
Yep. Got it
make
pulled
sure
up,
we're
ready to
still
go.
streaming?
You're good. Call the Village of Mount Sterling Council meeting of June 28th, 2021 to order. Roll call, please.
David?
Here.
Melanie?
Here.
Craig?
Here.
Becky?
Here.
Jay?
Here.
Andy?
Here.
All is present.
We'll stand for a silent prayer this evening. I would just ask you all to think about somebody that's on your mind, and we'll take about 30 seconds. Thank you. Thank you. Pledge. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. I need a motion to approve the minutes from a wastewater work session held on June 9th, 2021, a council meeting that was held on June 14th, 2021, and a wastewater work session held on June 21st, 2021.
Have that motion.
Second.
David? Jay?
Yep.
Roll call?
David?
Yes.
Melanie?
Yes.
Craig?
Yes.
Becky?
Yes.
Jay?
Yes.
Andy?
Yes.
And I'll pass this around later if that's okay.
Mayor's report, I don't have anything this evening. We have a pretty full agenda. President Pro Tem report, Mr. Petty.
No report?
Right. Tonight we have for public comment visitors, Mr. Dagenfeld of 46 North Market Street in regards to a handicap sign placement in front of his home. And we have 3 minutes. Mr. Dagenfeld? Stand if you'd like, and
Yeah, I was told the city had one, and parking is getting hard down there for some reason. The rental property across the street has too many renters and too many cars. So they park right in front of the house, which they can park where they want, but it'd be nice when I get home, if I get home from the farm late, to have a place to park.
So there was a handicap before? Is that?
Not there.
Oh, okay. Okay.
There's been another one
Well, somewhere.
Down, and there's person deceased down, and they took the sign down.
Okay.
Well, I don't see any reason why we can't assist you with that, just with the understanding that it's gonna be a permanent handicap spot, so as long, and obviously, sheriff needs to see plate or tag, and, okay, then I don't see any reason why we can't make a motion tonight to go ahead and place a handicap sign in front of 46 North Market.
so we do have the documentation that's needed.
Again, why would someone ask for, mine's in my truck still. Why would you ask for a handicap sign if you don't have a handicap placard? That would be kind of insane, because then you couldn't park in front of your own house.
Right.
I have two, one in the car and one in my truck. And I ran out of the house tonight with the wrong car.
Okay.
You got the placard, you deserve the sign.
Can I ask a question? I'm not anti-handicap parking at all, but Andy, your streets, correct, Chair? I feel like only once in my 4-year tenure, someone has asked for one. I'm not sure if we granted it or not, but would we be setting a precedent, and would any handicapped people, then would we have to do that everywhere? Or, I mean, is there any certain, precedent protocol you'd have to follow?
So generally, we've been following the guidance that basically says if there are, for example, deaf or blind in the neighborhood, we post appropriate signage. Handicap generally follows that. So I'm also looking to the rest of our streets committee members to give me a general thumbs up on that as well. But my general sense is I don't see any reason to oppose something like this. looking at others as
I'll
well.
make the motion.
Thank you.
Okay, so Craig was first. This is making a motion
No, I'll second that as well.
to designate one handicap spot in front of 46 North Market. Okay, so we have Craig, Andy, roll call.
Yes, please.
Let's see, we have Melanie. I'm sorry?
Yes.
Craig,
Yes.
Becky,
Yes.
Jay,
Yes.
Andy.
Yes?
Okay, motion has passed.
Did we get everybody? I think
You
you
left
forgot
out
somebody.
David.
David.
David?
Oh my gosh. David.
yes.
David. So let me just reiterate this. Melanie said yes, Craig said yes, Becky said yes, Jay said yes, Andy said yes, and David.
Yes, we did.
Yes. I'm so sorry, David.
That's all right. I just
It's a long
signed
day.
it.
Do we have a sign that's available? Do you
Now
know?
that I can't promise you that we actually have one in the garage. You have my commitment though to check and see what we do have, and then we will order one and get it put up when we can.
Okay. I will check.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
Thank you. That takes us to executive session. We have none. Sheriff's report. Mr. Dill.
Are you going to speak, President Pro Tem?
He said no.
Oh, okay.
About what? I'm
Huh?
lost.
Oh, I didn't know.
Oh, no, we're way past that,
Did you fall
Jack.
asleep there, Jack?
What are you
I must
talking
have.
about?
Oh, my.
All right, you've got the nature's
you talking
report in
about?
front of you. If you notice, it wasn't too bad for the last 2 weeks. Not a lot of complaints about the traffic from the 2 events we had going on. Both of them were huge success, and I think that's due to people being cooped up, and the free fishing poles that I didn't get, but
Soften the blow.
yeah, but all in all, things went good. Today, we had a few complaints on High Street. I know I spent 2 hours running radar down there. The highest one I got was 28. Like I said before, in the past, when you're standing out there, 28 on a residential street looks like you're flying. And it does. But it doesn't warrant a stop, but, you know, we'll just be visual out there and do best we can.
I really thought it was a good idea, the way it was marked today, and I no sooner told Courtney that everybody was obeying it, and when I went home, there were people just cutting down. It's like, okay, well, whatever.
It was good.
Everybody
Yeah.
paid attention.
You got burned.
But
I was
did-
out there,
I
yeah.
did get a lot of people driving and then look at me and go,
Yeah,
like, what do I do?
yeah.
Makes sense, just drive until you get back to the regular.
Yeah, we didn't have it, I mean, it was great because Maine was opened up, so people could get
Right.
around in a small circle.
Right.
But I was out there all day and it didn't seem to be any sort of traffic issue.
No, I mean, it was pretty heavy though at times.
Yeah.
For sure.
Hey, Jack, I got a question on fireworks. On these bottle rockets, I got a neighbor that's been firing them, and there shouldn't be. Now, now, I don't mind if they shoot the little blackjacks or something, but last year, if you remember, one of them almost burned down my garage.
Right. There's,
So-
any type of fireworks is illegal in the state of
Okay.
Ohio.
Okay.
When you buy them, you gotta sign a form, says you'll take them out of state to let them off.
Okay,
So
okay.
it's all in how you want us to enforce it. I mean, if you want us to hammer them, we'll hammer them, take the fireworks.
Yeah.
If you don't, I mean.
See, I don't mind the little one stuff, but when it looks like the longest day when them rockets come over, you know,
Yeah.
and so I just want to make sure.
But the 4th is coming, so be
Okay.
prepared. You're gonna have them.
Okay.
Keep your dogs inside.
Yes. Any other questions
leash.
or
Yeah.
concerns or?
Any other questions for Jack?
I do have a question. Dogs are always to be on leashes, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And it doesn't matter what breed and what age it has to be in order to do that?
It doesn't specify in the ordinance, it just says
Okay,
dogs.
yes, okay.
I found them on the sidewalk with my good cowboy boots once. Wrong thing.
Okay, we have no law director report, and Misty had to take a day off today, so there's no utilities clerk report. Mr. Hale also is not here. Do you have anything from him?
Do not.
Okay. That takes us to you, fiscal officer.
Well, I just want to give a big shout out to our crew, Aaron Fullrod and George Anderson, of what a great job they were asked to perform. A lot of people I see on Facebook were asking what the utility was. We didn't know until we got down in there what utility, because it was near the gas. We did find out that it was a main break on 56, and we successfully corrected it with no issues of any boil alerts. Everything went very smooth. I do want to thank Morrison Excavating for their time that they have taken to open that up and get down into the water and actually clamp it for us. It was an all-day event, and we are happy to say that the road is being cleaned as we speak, if it hasn't already been opened up. But everything had went fine. It was some amazing pictures that I was able to capture while we were there. So I just wanted to thank everybody that was involved in that, because it was a big event. So I wanted to thank everybody for that.
And your work on the project as well.
Yeah. I didn't
Thank
do
you,
much.
That's what I'm saying.
Didn't do much of that, but, well, I shouldn't say that, but.
Yes, you should.
So anyways, I have not heard from anybody that had any questions from the financial reports. And nobody had reached out to me. And it looks like, as far as, we're moving into July, so the reports, of course, our committee meetings are not going to be until next week, I believe. And so I won't have any reports until I speak with the committees on that. So each one of you guys will probably have your budget, as you most likely do most of the time. We talk about monies in pretty much every committee. So I'll be having some reports this time to kind of show you guys where you're at, since we are kind of halfway through the year. Again, probably in July or August, probably, and I might put it on this agenda, that we're going to be talking about budget again. Okay, so we will get this presented in October for budget for 2022. So with that said, I don't have any additional for you guys as far as expenditures and stuff. They seem to be lower than budget. And revenues we will be working on, okay? So with that said, I have a motion to ask for an appropriation status, a revenue status, a receipt listing report, a payment listing report, comparison of budget and appropriated, a cash summary by fund report, and a reader report.
I'll give you that motion.
Second.
So that was Craig, and then Jay.
Yes. Roll call?
Melanie?
Yes.
Craig?
Yes.
Becky?
Yes.
Jay?
Yes.
Andy?
Yes.
David?
Yes.
Okay, now if I can circulate these around, that'd be great. I think
right.
that's all me.
Thank you. That takes us to committee reports, finance, Andy.
Only one comment to Courtney's update, which is to say that we are watching the budgets pretty close and having the budget flexibility to respond to stuff like what happened today and what happened, I guess, a few months, February, March timeframe with the other water main break near the dairy freeze. We ought to have enough flexibility in the budget to respond to those in real time and pay for them without the rest of it going sideways, and we're doing halfway decent at that. So I'm optimistic that, knock on wood, we'll have an okay end of the year, but we obviously have to stay on top of that. So thanks to everybody who put their backs into it today. It really, really, really paid off. I drove by there and looked at it just a few minutes ago, and they were buttoning it up, and it looks like a professional A1 job from top to bottom. So thanks to everybody who's doing that.
Thank you. Pleasant Township, Melanie?
No report. Next meeting is July 5th.
Squad, Jay?
No report. Next meeting is the 7th at 8 p.m. at the Squad Bay here in Moss Early.
Okay. Fire, Craig?
Yes, the chief updated us on the air packs, and the grant is moving forward. We also discussed the employees' pay adjustments, and because they've had some losses in their staffing, they had to promote a new assistant chief, and that was Jeff Shaw. And that next meeting will be July the 24th.
Okay. I'm going to give you this. But water, wastewater, that's you as well, Craig?
Well, we had three sessions, work sessions, on the EPA concerns of the possible well field contamination. We had a meeting today, we talked some issues out, and it's still ongoing.
Okay.
And our water meeting will be July the 7th at 9 a.m.
And would you like to?
Sure. And we also spoke about this too, but I still like to, make this, because I know some of the people in the public have not been prevalent to this information in regards to our AC and heating and cooling system is down and it's broken. So we've tried to keep its life expectancy of the 30 years, but we've kept it for several months now.
Sorry, where is it broken? You said it's just broken. Where?
Oh, the whole entire thing.
Of where?
Sewer. I thought I
Sewer
said
plant.
sewer plant.
I might have missed it. Sorry, I just want to make
At the
sure.
sewer plant. So there, like I said, we've tried to fix it internally and turn some fans off and, letting it cool down. And we have a great operator down there that's, has some sort of knowledge, and he is not able to get it back up. So I did present to members today of two quotes that we received. One for $7,400 and one for $7,000, and they made a recommendation, and I just asked if we can make that official recommendation today. So this would be a motion to approve a quote from the replacement of the heating and cooling system at the sewer plant for the Farley refrigeration.
Motion.
Second.
Roll call?
So that was Jay and Andy?
Yes.
Okay, Craig,
Yes.
Becky,
Yes.
Jay,
Yes.
Andy,
Yes.
David,
Yes.
and Melanie.
Yes.
Okay. And then I have one last motion. So what I was talking about was an emergency at the 56 in London. So as we know, that was a main break. So at this point, I will be asking for monies in the amount of $6,000 to be transferred or to be used from the water reserve account to fix that main on London and 56. So I'm
You have that
asking for a
motion
motion for
for me.
6,000.
I'll second that as well.
David and Andy,
Roll call?
Becky,
Yes.
Jay,
Yes.
Andy,
Yes.
David,
Yes.
Melanie,
Yes.
Craig.
Yes.
And again, these monies are already in the fund, okay? So we're not moving any money. These are the monies that are paid by residents every single month. They're just now being moved for me to expend them. So it's not any additional monies. It's nothing that I'm transferring from the general fund or anything. These are monies that I'm able to transfer for expenditures, okay?
Okay. Street, Andy.
Yes, I don't have a lengthy report other than to say that the committee, when it meets next, will be considering the next round of pothole filling. Both the list that we can do with our own staff, using a temporary patch, and then the next round of ones that needs to be developed over the summer, which are the bigger kind that will not go away. So,
And when's your next
Andy,
meeting?
we did get a
next
good
meeting will be
compliment.
Friday, July 2nd. We have to move it up a little bit, so. The first?
Thursday, July 1st
Thursday, all right,
at 8 a.m.
whatever she said. Thursday, July 1st at 8 a.m. I thought it was Friday.
Move
Well,
from the original time due
We-
to conflict, right?
Yes, correct.
Andy, we
Thank
got a
you.
good compliment too. On Chestnut Street, the one resting on the corner, tickled to death to have that pothole fixed.
Oh, I'm glad to
So
hear
it's
it.
always get a good comment.
I'm glad to hear it. We'll keep doing them. We'll keep doing them. And all those meetings, by the way, are at 8 a.m.
Parks and Rec, Melanie.
Saturday night was our movie night. We had an awesome turnout. We watched Jungle Book 2. We had some cool prizes for some kids. Next meeting is July 5th. Are we observing that as the holiday for the village or?
Yes,
So we won't be here on the 5th.
yeah, so we won't. Yeah, we gotta change that.
So we'll change that meeting.
Okay, so to be continued, I'll reach out to everybody. Okay.
Yeah. Street, the Summer Jam. I would like to thank the Hammer Time. They did some raffles for Parks and Recs. We also, my husband purchased a electric smoker. We raffled that off down there. Had a great time, great turnout. We raised, what, Courtney, help me out here, 320?
More than that.
332 is what you have down here.
Yeah.
332.
For Parks and Rec, yeah.
Right, so there's $332. We're gonna ask for a motion to add to the Parks and Recs fund from the raffles at Summer Jam.
Yep, so she's making a motion to accept the 332 to be earmarked to Parks and Recs funds for revenues and expenditures.
Is there a second?
Second.
Roll call?
Okay, who was first?
Melanie.
Okay. I'm so off right now for some reason, I'm sorry. Jay?
Yes.
Andy?
Yes.
David?
Yes.
Melanie?
Yes.
Craig?
Yeah.
Becky?
Yes.
Okay, motion passed.
Anything else?
That's it. We'll update when we figure out what day we're gonna change the meeting to.
I was just curious, I meant to ask Becky and I forgot, how were the mosquitoes out there? Were they very bad?
No.
No, not at all.
I didn't have a single bite.
I know I let council know, but West Jeff is doing their mosquito fogging every Wednesday, usually 9:30 or after, and so they started last week.
Great.
Awesome.
If anybody asks. It's a free service to us, in kind, so.
Very nice.
Yep.
That's fantastic.
Yep. That takes us to record of retention.
We had a great meeting this past session to try to, again, weed out some of the contents of every closet in this place, including potentially the attic. And so another round of records are now eligible for further review by others, including the Ohio Historical Society. And our attorney will be potentially meeting, throwing it out there, of Friday, July 18th. So a little bit out here, and we need to organize that, but that's the tentative date at 8 a.m.
I thought it was the 16th. Bob, correct me if I'm wrong. July 16th? I think it was the
18th is
16th.
a Sunday.
I think July 16th. is-
16th. All right.
Andy's off his
Yeah,
game
Andy
too.
needs his
Over two.
glasses checked.
I think we all, it's like really, I'm like hot in here. I think it's hot.
You've been out in the sun all day. You're
Fried,
like a cherry
fried. Okay, thank you. Nuisance and abatement, Becky?
Yep. Nothing really new to present since the last meeting. Our next meeting will be July 7th at 3:30. We have issued a new newsletter that covers July, August, and September. We reached out to some other organizations. We are trying to get all the input from our community as possible on everything that they have going on. So, so that is out there. There's copies here at Town Hall. There's copies at different businesses throughout. And we also, at our July 7th meeting, will be nominating 3 new yards for just our monthly Beautiful Yards thing. And I'm going to kind of go off topic a second. The Chamber of Commerce, though, is running the yard contest right now. That is for actual nice prizes, $100, $75, and $50 gift certificates for local businesses. So nominate yourself and your neighbors. Make sure you nominate prior to July the 2nd. Those yards will be judged on July the 2nd, and the winners will be announced at the 4th of July parade.
Very good. Safety block watch.
Oh, on the block watch, we'll be meeting in July, and basically, I want to say this. I am so glad we got those signs up. Some of the residents in Market Street actually told me this, that now the people are not, just don't seem as bad because they see that sign. It's like having the, eyes watching them, makes you feel good. And here's my watch out for this time. Close your garage doors when you go away. And I think Jack would tell you the same thing. Most of the time, that's an open invitation. If it's got some, I wouldn't mind if they took my lawnmower because I wouldn't have to mow it, but the point of it is, keep them open. And also, there's a new call scheme now. This one here, saying that they're with the Arthritis Foundation, and they said if you can donate, they will also help you pay for your medicine. But they want to know 2 different things. They want to know your bank account number and also your medical numbers. And as I always said, you got a receiver, slamming it in their ear, and just right there. And that's all I got to report.
We need to get you a phone to sit right there for their
Exactly.
meeting so you can do that.
Staples red button.
Planning and zoning, Andy.
We had a great meeting this past week. We had a gentleman from Ohio Equities Group come visit the Planning and Zoning Department about some potential industrial development for the village. We've said it 100 times, we're open for business. We're ready for any and all, and we welcome with open doors. Please come talk to us about potential building here. And we continue to be excited about any and all possibilities, whether it's big or small, 1 house, 100 houses, 1 building, or an entire industrial park, we'll take it. So we are excited to meet with the gentleman. We'll continue to have conversations. We expect more to happen over the course of the summer into the fall with lots of different folks who are excited to be here in Mount Sterling, and we have a lot to offer. So the next building and zoning meeting, I believe, is next Tuesday at 6 PM. Did I get that one right?
Correct.
Thank you. All right. I have no idea what actual month or a day that is, but you know, it's next Tuesday of the calendar, that is. But
Okay, so, was it a week or so ago, our president declared June 19th to be a federal holiday, Juneteenth, and I would like to ask for a motion to observe Juneteenth Day on June 19th as a village holiday. I did look up, just for a point of reference, the state of Ohio does follow all the federal guidelines for holidays. We do here except for Columbus Day. So that's the only federal holiday that we do not recognize as far as letting our employees have a day off. So I don't know if you would like to consider that also as part of this, or we can just do Juneteenth Day, but I would like to ask for a motion. So,
I have a question.
yes.
So, they did receive Juneteenth off this year.
Yes, they did.
So, is it a separate recommendation that they do get paid for that?
Yes, it is.
So, and then can we separate that from the future? Can we do those in two separate things here? If we're making a
Right, that's how we're
recommendation?
gonna
Right.
Okay.
Yep.
And then, I guess one thing I was just curious about, Juneteenth moving forward is, I really wasn't sure until you just said that, of what holidays we do recognize for our employees. And, you know, to find that we don't recognize Columbus Day is surprising to me. And, I mean, I would like to recommend that council sit and look at the holiday schedule. That, you know, we have very limited employees, and I know they do deserve time off, holidays, but also we need to make sure we have coverage. But I'd like to know, yeah, which holidays, you know, they do have, and what if, like, right now, Melanie brought up, you know, the 4th of July is falling on a Sunday, so this coming Monday, that means everybody's
No,
off?
it's
or
observed. So our employee handbook says that if it falls on a Saturday, we observe it on that Friday. If it falls on a Sunday, we observe it on a Monday. So the only actual federal, and she hasn't printed out, the only federal holiday that our employee handbook does not recognize is, the only thing is Columbus Day. So, I mean, I think you have.
So there,
But July 4th, I mean, Monday, they're all off, is
Correct.
what I'm
Yep.
asking.
so my understanding is there's 22 federal holidays. So do we give them 21 days off?
Well, so we don't observe Christmas Eve, and we do not observe the day after Thanksgiving. But I know.
But those
just-
aren't holidays, are they?
No, but those were additional days, is what I'm
Last
saying,
year.
that you guys did last year. So the ones you have is New Year's Day, Martin Luther King Day, President's Day in February, Memorial Day, and then the asking of Juneteenth, Independence Day, Labor Day, Columbus Day, Veterans Day, Thanksgiving, Christmas Day, and then New Year's Day. Those are the only ones that are in our employee handbook.
And
It's on like
that's-
12.
So, Juneteenth and Independence Day and Christmas Day, depending on where that day falls, then, like she just said, you either take the,
If it's on a Saturday, you observe it on a Friday. If it's on a Sunday, you observe it on a Monday.
yeah.
What
So-
the mayor brought up on June 19th, though, in June 19th, 1864, slavery was actually abolished in Texas and Louisiana, which in our country's history was a great event. So, you know, whatever way we have to go, but I still say it's a very important day.
So were other municipalities like giving full, or is it more like, I'm trying to think of the question I'm trying to ask here. So we're considering it a full paid holiday. Is that what we're considering right now? Or is it,
Yeah, the president.
Yes.
so deemed as, so everybody will have to follow it, so it's not a choice? It's not like a choice.
We have an option.
Yeah, you have an option.
Yeah, and we're local.
I mean,
Right, that's what I was asking, yeah,
Yeah,
if they
so,
wanted to have it off or
like,
not,
for
or,
example, when we were talking about Columbus Day, I think a lot of municipalities choose not to take Columbus Day off, and instead they give their employees like either the day after Thanksgiving or maybe Christmas Eve off.
Right.
So, yeah, we as municipalities, we don't necessarily have to follow what the state follows, but,
Right.
and that's why I don't know, is that
It-
normally
oh,
decided, like the first of the year when we're working on rules of council, or?
You can do it at any time, but it's just like what Becky's saying is that, you know, to actually sit down and organize what everything, you know, what your
Agreed.
days are, should be.
Yeah.
Because like last year, like Thanksgiving, the day after Thanksgiving, some places, you know, let their employees off. So it, you know, that it doesn't, you know, Thanksgiving always falls on a Thursday, so we know that Friday is always a actual work day. So Thursday's given off, and then like Christmas Eve, how it fell this time, it was kind of just how, it was weirdly, you know.
Courtney, why don't they acknowledge Columbus Day? Because for me,
In
we
the
have.
employee handbook, that they did not, for some reason. Maybe they missed it, forgot it, I don't know.
But no, I agree with Becky. That's something we need to reflect on. Just because this year it fell in the middle of our event, and it's just like nothing seemed to happen. I think one guys did have a call out or whatever you call it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just one of those. Which I get it, but it was one of those.
Yeah,
it's
and,
just-
and, yeah, maybe we need to look at as well, you know, since we only have 2 street workers, maybe we need to rotate them. Maybe one gets Friday and one gets Monday, you know what I mean?
I
But
like
maybe
that.
we need to look at the whole package.
Yeah, I like that idea.
So does that just happen in just a work
Yeah, we can
session?
just do that in our next one.
I like
And we
that.
have, you know, the next holidays are already observed. I think that one's in October, so we just need to make sure we come together before October.
Sounds good.
Labor Day, well,
We already get that one off.
yeah, okay.
The Columbus Day's the one.
So we just table this
So
then?
can we make a motion, though,
Make a
to,
motion for Juneteenth, because
pay-
that needs to happen.
to pay the employees
Yes.
for this past Juneteenth?
Well, do we make an emotion then to,
No, she's not, she's asking to have that motion for you and I.
Tabled.
that's tabled and we
That's
go
not-
on to the
we're
next
just
one,
gonna go
right?
on the next one.
All right, so, because we did give our employees off on that day, I need to ask for a motion to approve a paid holiday for our employees for June 18th, 2021.
I'll give you that motion.
I'll
Second.
Okay, well, there was two.
Yeah.
Say,
David
Yep.
or Jay?
Well, I think there was 3, so let's just say David, I saw David and Andy, so,
I'm David and Jay. whatever.
No, it
all
wasn't
right.
me.
Let's say,
It wasn't?
It was
it
Andy.
was David and Andy. Okay, David, second.
Okay, Becky was first, David was second.
Correct, so roll call.
David,
Yes.
Melanie,
Yes.
Craig,
Yes.
Becky,
Yes.
Jay,
Yes.
Andy.
yes.
Okay, and then we'll pick another time, we'll just keep it on the radar
Okay.
when we talk about that.
Okay.
Motion's passed.
All right. That takes us to ordinances and resolutions.
Yep, okay, so we have 2 here. These are continuous ones from our last meeting. The first one is an ordinance 2021-09, an ordinance to adopt standards and fees for obtaining a demolition permit. This is on the 3rd reading.
So do I have a motion to put ordinance 2021-09 on a third
I'll
reading?
make a motion.
Second?
Craig and Andy. Roll call?
Melanie,
Yes.
Craig,
Yes.
Becky,
Yes.
Jay,
Yes.
Andy,
Yes.
David?
Yes.
And now I need a motion for passage of ordinance 2021-09.
That motion.
I'll
Dave.
second.
David and Melanie. Roll call?
Craig,
Yes.
Becky,
Yes.
Jay,
Yes.
Andy,
Yes.
David,
Yes.
Melanie.
Yes.
Okay, ordinance 2021-09 has passed.
Okay.
The next one is ordinance 2021-12, an ordinance to obtain a mobile food truck vending permit. This is on the 2nd reading.
Is there a motion?
I'd like to have a moment again
Okay.
to have a bit of discussion. I know I brought this up last time, and it's fine. I just have to do my due diligence. And just ask council again. I like most of the ordinance. I'm not crazy about the part where the money automatically goes to Parks and Rec. I'm a huge, endorser of the park, of course, but also the small businesses that have been running fundraisers in the past for years that gain some of their monies from these food trucks. It's taking money out of their hands, and I wish it was only maybe applied to new events or events that were not sponsored by nonprofits. So that's just my thing I wanted to say.
So we have one motion on the table. Is there a second?
I'll give you a second.
First?
David, wasn't, oh, I'm sorry, was there
Yeah,
not
there was
one?
no
Oh, I'm
motion.
sorry.
Oh, because
I
she
apologize.
had her discussion.
Then I'll give you that motion.
And second.
Andy was first, Jay was second.
Roll call.
I think we're.
Too
okay.
hot, overheated.
Becky,
No.
Jay,
Yes.
Andy,
Yes.
David,
Yes.
Melanie,
Yes.
Craig.
Yes.
Okay, it's passed on the 2nd reading.
That takes us to roundtable. Does anybody have anything for roundtable?
I want to bring up being the 4th of July, you know, the history person I am. Sometimes between the firecrackers and something, remember what really happened in Philadelphia. The Liberty Bell really did crack when they rung it, but our freedom's so much to us now. Your freedom of religion, freedom of, from, like for having our meetings here and stuff. Sometimes I think we take it for too much for granted in our country. You look at a lot of the countries around the world, you're not even allowed to pack a Bible at certain places, or if you're talking out against the government, they'll cut your head off. And thank God that we live in a land that's free. And I think we ought to take a moment during the 4th of July weekend to remember this.
Thank you. Anyone else?
I have,
Oh,
nope.
You go ahead.
Okay, I just wanted to give another shout out to the Madison Messenger. If you saw it this week, we have a lot of nice pictures on the front page with residents enjoying Summer Jam. As always, you know, there's a little scuttlebutt about the traffic problems, and, you know, you guys hear it, the mayor hears it, we hear it loud and clear. But in all, I'll tell you, we got so many more positive comments, and we had great turnout. A lot of people made a lot of money. The Chamber of Commerce had an amazing weekend. They raised a lot of funds for that worthy cause. The Parks and Recs had, the Youth League had a dunk tank out there. I think you guys probably made a nice little profit, hopefully. Any profit's good.
It was fun. The
It's a
kids had fun
right.
dunking people in there. Yeah.
And then, Parks and Rec, as Melanie mentioned, raised some money too. And then all of our local brick and mortars that chose to be open did really well. And even the temporary vendors that were set up did amazing. Our food trucks that were out there did amazing. As a matter of fact, they kept running out of food. They could not believe the turnout and the support. So we have a lot of those people are all anxious for the next event here. And we had a nice little informational booth set up that had all kinds of events for the public to share with the public. And then also our fishing event that was supported by ODNR and Andy and Melanie and myself on Parks and Rec. We were blessed, honestly, to be able to give out 102 fishing poles to children.
awesome.
Like, I have goosebumps right now. The kids were really excited, and they got to spin a wheel and win a little prize. Some of them were bigger prizes, and then they had an opportunity to cast and learn how to cast, and they had to get it in the hula hoop or the pool, and then every single one of them walked away with a fishing pole. And so it was, really rewarding, and I was happy to be a part of that experience, and I'm grateful, for the grant that we got from ODNR to allow us to do that. And then Melanie touched on the movie night. The turnout was good. It could have been better. It could have been worse. It was awesome for our first one of the year, and we did give away a few more prizes at that. And the screen is, our new screen that we got.
It was really fun to set up.
Yeah. And that screen, I want to give another shout out to the Chamber of Commerce and the American Legion. If it wasn't without those two organizations in this community, the year before they provided a brand new sound system, and then last year they provided a brand new huge screen, and those are ours for our community to keep forever and let our families enjoy, the benefits of those. So a huge shout out to those two organizations. And our next movie, I think you mentioned, was July 31st. So, and that is up, and we are giving away, I tried to announce this the other night, we're giving away a couple of bicycles that night and our helmets. So we had enough prizes this time. We had, I think, like 25 kids maybe, so they all got a prize this time. Can't say that that's going to happen every time. And then we had probably more adults than kids, because most kids were there with parents, and some were with parents and grandparents. So it was just great. And then the library also came out. They were unable, unfortunately, to get their bookmobile out there. It still needs some repairs, but they still came out like troopers. And the Friends of the Library provided some packaged candy and chips and drinks. And You know, it wasn't a huge crowd, so they probably didn't make much profit, but hopefully I hear that they're going to do it again for the next one and probably have the bookmobile out there. So, you know, the more that we can add to these events, the more exciting they are for the kids and the families. So, you know, sometimes doing these events is a lot of work, but it makes you really grateful to be part of a small community like this when you get to reap the
Becky, you
rewards.
brought up Summer Jam and the flag raising. Of course, you know, I was one of the
Yeah.
Legion commanders. I was so glad of the turnout we had there.
It was
And
awesome.
that gentleman that sung the national anthem did an excellent job.
It was.
The other commanders told me, they said, we thought maybe a few people come, but when you all gathered around that flagpole, and if you're a former soldier or serving now, I can't help it, makes
It
you
was
glad.
really, you know what, like David and I were standing there and there were a few members of our services, I think they said the Marines,
Yes.
that were actually carnival.
Yeah, it was one of the employees. I said,
and
even though,
they-
yeah, they was
I
so
mean, they
good.
really thought, I mean, it really was, like, that was a moment. You know, they helped get the flag down, they
And they-
helped salute, and that was amazing. that
And I
they
had
could take part
anybody
in
that
that.
was a veteran, I said, I want you in this line. I told him that. I said, you deserve it. And I'm so glad we have that, and I hope we have it again.
Yeah, and one other thing, I don't know if any of you caught it on the news the day before the festival started, but we had Channel 6, Channel 4, Fox News, the Department of Agriculture was out here. The company that brought the rides, Albanese Concessions, I believe it is, a couple of years ago, unfortunately, a young man named Tyler lost his life at the Ohio State Fair, and there's a new law, the Tyler's Law, and it's like more rigorous inspections of those rides and things, and they came out and did a piece on it, and Tyler's mother was even there, and it was very moving, and she hugged the ride guy on how important it is that, you know, he maintains his stuff. And it was very moving, but we did have, the reason they chose Mike Albanese for this interview, this press conference, was because of his high standards, his high qualities, and that's who we had at our event. And it really did look good on our little community as well, so. Sorry, Jack, I talked longer.
No, you're fine, you're fine. I want to piggyback a little bit off of the Summer Jam Festival. Mr. Dagenfield brought up a good point. We were outside talking. How can we get the community where the traffic is detoured to know that this is going to happen in a better, timely manner? We came up with an idea, maybe we can type something up and hand deliver them. You know, it's not a big area. I can do that when I'm driving around. Anytime we have an event, put the map on
You said
there.
that, we all heard that, right?
Yes.
I will deliver them. I will personally deliver 'em.
We talked about that earlier today because I asked somebody that lives on London Street about that because they were kind of complaining a little bit. And I said, how would you prefer to find out about it? You know, and of course, media, not everybody does, but she suggested just like when there's a boil alert or they're shutting your water off, we have the tags that are already made. Just be able to, we don't really need to knock on the door, but we put it on the door and then just, you know, something similar to what you said, yeah.
Yeah, if we could come up with just like a little form letter, you know, this is the road closure, put the map on it, show what the road closure is, the detour, show where we're gonna have no parking, and I think that's gonna alleviate a lot of time.
Yeah, good idea.
I told Andy that I think when, at the street meeting, that they need to bring that up and talk about that.
Yeah,
so.
and it's gonna make all of us look a lot better in the public's eye. The car show Saturday was the biggest it's ever been.
Nice.
It was crazy. I think everybody's just tired of COVID, and they're getting out. So be ready at your next movie event, because if you had 25 this time, I bet you're gonna have 70 at the next one. So start getting out fishing poles. I'm like,
There we go. I like that idea.
I have one more thing. I apologize. The 4th of July parade that's coming up on the 4th is actually on Sunday, July 4th. If you want to be in that parade, lineup starts around 9 and the parade will actually begin at 10. But Tom Corbin, who is leading the fourth, heading it up, he called me and wanted to remind me that we needed some no parking things put up along the parade path just for like a 3 hour, like from 9 to noon. The parade starts at 10, so maybe, I know Courtney has the exact parade path, but maybe we could take advantage of that offer this time. But we need to get them out probably by like Friday.
Letters?
Like no parking during 9 to noon
On July 4th.
on July 4th.
And we also need a letter, let's give it to these residents, so explain it to them, and they'll have a better understanding why they can't park there.
Right, yeah, and we're asking businesses, individuals, the youth league would be awesome. I know they've done it in the past, like coaches have filled up their trucks with kids and they'll be in the back waving in the parade. It's not a very long parade, but they are planning on, they have asked, and I think it's very nice. We decided to ask Lowell Anderson to be the Grand Marshal. He's had a lot of community service, a lot of time on council, a lot of time with the Masons, and he was a school teacher for years and years and years. He has done, whether you like his personality or not, he's done a lot of great things for this community. He is a good man. So we have asked him to be the Grand Marshal, so he'll be leading the parade on the 4th.
And you'll have some hot rods in it too,
Yeah.
because it was announced
Nice,
at the car show, if you want to be in the parade.
nice, nice.
Okay, so I'll put that on the to-do list about.
Yeah, the letter don't have to
signs.
be nothing
Little
big, just
sign
a
and-
map with
in
the parade route and.
Is council cool with having no parking for like a 3-hour stint
Okay, so we'll have to make a
along the
motion for
parade
that.
route? I mean, I'd like to make a motion that we're allowed to have no parking along the parade route just for 3 hours.
Along
I'll second it.
parade route on July 4th.
Becky and then Melanie.
Okay.
A roll call?
Jay?
Yep. Yes. Yes.
Okay. Andy?
Yes?
David?
Yes.
Melanie?
Yes.
Craig?
Yes.
Becky?
Yes.
Okay, motion is passed.
And if any council members would like to, Bill's store has donated oodles of little flags, and they're not little, they're about this big and they're nice, that he would like distributed along the parade route. So if anybody wants to just kind of be placed along the parade route and hand out flags to, kids and adults alike, there's plenty for everybody, that would be awesome.
That's great.
Before we get off of summer jam type thing, do want to send a shout out to Jeff now. He, poor thing, has Becky as his wife, so she's gonna have him do every single thing. But he is one hard-working individual, and then we don't thank him enough for all the things that he does. So I know him and Becky both were out there a lot. Council members were out there really helping for summer jam, so it's very appreciated, the time that you spend.
And one more thing real quick, Hammer Time Bar during the summer jam did a fantastic job
Yes, they did.
leasing their beer garden.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't have to do anything.
That's great. That's great. They
They took care of it all.
they stand true to their commitment, don't they?
Yep.
That was very successful.
Is there anything else?
Mayor, I'd like to bring up, you always talk about the Timmons Fair. There's Professor John Timmons, the head of the Timmons Rock and Roll Show. And he's the one who has the yes or no's, whatever we do. He always watches us on YouTube, and he always makes sure Courtney has the sound. But John, I appreciate you coming out and seeing everybody.
John was our 1976 valedictorian from Madison Plains, yes. That's right. We both took the podium that day, didn't we?
Oh, wow, I never knew that.
All right, thank you, everyone, for a good meeting, and we'll see you later. We are adjourned.
Have a good evening.
I didn't know that.